All right, I'm on the play for the 5th and final game after that, whatever was embarrassment of
Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, I'm never gonna make fun of anybody again if they play a deck this overly complicated with so many triggers and whatever. Anyway, yeah.
Like, even if we backed all the way up, I still don't think there was a way to win that turn.
There probably was. I'm just too stupid to figure it out.
Well, I will join you in that boat.
All right.
And I'll keep my hand as well. We're going to scry. And we'll bottom that. We don't need any more. Go ahead.
All right, we'll fetch planes and play Jace. So here we go.
19. I just got moto bugged. Scry a card and then drew it again.
Did you already have the planes? No.
Scry.
You just passed over it.
We're going to bottom that. And we'll Watt slash Jace.
Oh! Stop killing my Jace. He's great. Jace is great. I want to keep him forever. Cut.
Go ahead.
Nope. All right. No, I'm not going to play that. All right. We'll play Seder Wayfinder. Take Opulent Palace. Put some things in the yard. We'll play an Elvish Mystic.
Oh. Perfect. Just how we drew it up.
No! No!
I even have a land and another 2-drop.
How you say ver blowout?
Great magic cards. Hang back, girl. Go ahead. You can just do 2 damage and destroy an artifact.
I don't have black.
Oh, don't worry, you'll find it eventually.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess I want a hair specs. Can't cast it this turn, but I can cast it next turn. I got another gather and some other junkers. Go. I hope they have 4 lands in play now, and I still can't cast all my spells. Like 4 different lands and 2 mana creatures.
What do you have in here?
Sorry, I took a fetch damage. You're still at 20. I'm at 19.
Yep.
All right, I forgot to write it down. I was making sure we got that. Burp, blurp,
Blarp.
blurp. All right, take 6. 13.
Go.
Delight.
Do you think I'm a block?
I don't think you'll block. Seder Wayfinder. Oh man, this is weird. Yeah, I can't even do that. Got anything sweet in here? Nope.
Oh wow, you don't even have double white yet.
Yeah, that's what I can cast Kolga's command, but I can't cast Rally. Sorry, I don't mean to take so much time on my turns. Quarter Calling is a messed up card. I don't know what to do. I don't think I have anything great to get with it. Just random combo pieces. Whatever. Kill this and this. I'll take. Damage matters, apparently.
17.
Go. got a 2-turn clock there. That's great. Yep, take 7. I'm at 6.
Good.
Don't think that's gonna do it. Can I hit perfectly and kill you? Let's figure it out. So I need to hit mana confluence. No, I can't. I don't. I only have 1 plane. It has to be mana confluence and dead.
Mogus Marauders there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at my deck. I'm pretty sure I don't have an out. I have Cord, but I don't think there's anything that does it to keep me from dying next turn. Because I didn't bring in. So we talked about this a little bit. All right, I concede. I just want to talk about this for 1 second because we talked. Yeah, I figured that you had a bunch of stuff, but we talked about maybe boarding these in just to try to buy myself some more time.
Because like the first combo probably isn't going to kill me, but the second one, will kill me.
Yeah. So like
gain like 40 life.
These probably should have been in the deck after board, but in my head, just they didn't really mesh with what the deck was trying to do. But like if I have to combo at least twice to kill him because of an artifact creature being in play, then I think there's a lot of value to having these and just gaining a ton of life to buy me time. The problem though is that at some point I'm going to Hera Specs and I'm going to draw a bunch of cards, and then if he has Stormbreath Dragon in play, I'm just going to die to the Monstrous on it. So
yeah,
it's possible I should have brought in something like this package, but
well, you also can just like sack the Hera Specs first so you don't draw a bunch of cards.
Sure. All right, but we'll talk about this more in the outro, but this is something I just want to bring up for now because I could have maybe at some point like corded for that, like maybe found a husk and sacked a bunch of stuff and then gained some more life, but whatever. All right. Dead. Have nothing. So this is what you do to BBD all the time?
No, it's the other way around.
Really?
He's literally the luckiest human being on the planet.
Maybe he's just stacking his deck.
Could be.
Gotta get that first video cred somehow.
It's unbelievable how it's just
salty you are?
It's always run goods and run bads. I try really hard not to be salty. Sometimes you just can't do it, but
I feel like we should have just a salt shaker in here. And whenever one person starts to get salty about anything, the other person just gets to just throw salt.
Just get salt everywhere.
Yeah, so this rally deck, very hard to play. If you are good with very, I don't know, I'm trying to express how difficult it is to keep up with all the triggers. If you're good with that, micromanaging. If you're good at micromanaging triggers and game states and stuff like that, this is a perfect deck for you. However, I am not very good at that stuff. I have played Elf combo like sometimes like in like old extended format and Legacy like once, and I can remember glimpse triggers because it's just whenever I play a guy, draw a card. But in this, it's just 20 different things going on. You have a tutor effect and go get anything out of your deck, and at instant speed, and Rally is just a weird card I've never cast before.
It reminds me of the first version of the standard Ascendancy combo decks that only killed with Twin Flame.
Oh yeah!
If you were also riding a unicycle. Is basically what watching that deck reminds me of.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, this is a very
just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, ton of stuff going on with the deck. The kill of Mogus Marauder, given your black guy's haste or your creature's haste, is very cool. But the fact that they have Intimidate and not Unblockable is huge against artifact creatures. And if there is a sub theme of that, like if people start playing Jeff Hoagland's Blue-White Thopter control deck, or if they just in general start playing
Hangerback Walker.
Yeah, Hangerback Walker, because that
jamming
card,
it in your deck.
Yeah, people just start playing their deck. I mean, that card's good in general. I think.
Card. I also think that Key and Peel's very good too.
Yeah, Kia and Pierre Peel Noir.
Yep. I've been saying it for a while, but if we had like Mind Stone or Fire Diamond, like these bigger red decks would be very good. Oh, no, I agree with that. I think that'd be sweet. Plus, it would give you another reason to just like kill people with Shroud Blast, because you can play these like red mana rocks that ramp up to the goggles, and then just Shroud Blast, double Shroud Blast off of my Fire Diamond. No, but yeah, this deck a little too complicated for me. So if you want the task of trying to figure this out, then by all means, you know, I think this is a really cool deck
The card Rattle of the Ancestors is awesome. It's a very unique effect that we don't really get to see that often in Standard. And if you can find a way to break it, then do it, because I think the card itself is great. It's just not good. This iteration is not good against a deck that is dedicated to having a lot of blockers in play that are either black or artifacts.
Yeah. On top of that, a good testament to the difficulty of this deck is you could tell that Matthew Tickle was versed in the deck. He had been testing it. He had plenty of reps, been playing it. He was even making mistakes. Like, he killed himself in his upkeep one game. Just like milling himself and then having to draw a card and dying.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
the deck is not easy.
Yeah, I
by
feel
any stretch of the imagination.
I felt exactly like Tickle in that spot when on the game where I couldn't kill you, when I could deal you 22 and you're 24. I'm sure that there's a way I could have killed you, right?
Got
like
an extra point of damage.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even if there was like a couple things I could have done a turn or two before, you know, like play an extra guy or do something different. So yeah, I don't know, man. This deck's sweet, but I don't know if it's good enough yet. But it's definitely cool. So give it a try if you want to at your own.
It seems like there's a lot of potential, especially since like. One of the reasons to not play this deck is if Absent Aggro gets popular again, because you just can't beat Anafenza basically ever.
Oh, yeah.
But with Languish kind of pushing that deck a little to the side, I feel like there's a chance for this deck to potentially do something. And I feel like if this deck is going to make it in Standard, Sam Black's going to break it at the Pro Tour.
That's yeah, sure. It is right up his alley, Nantuko Husk for life.
Yeah, so.
All right, so let's talk about this red-white deck real quick.
Well, first off, it felt very clunky. I understand having to play Evolving Wilds as a way to get your red and white mana sources for Chain to the Rocks, but there were turns where I couldn't cast spells on curve. There were turns that I just couldn't cast spells because I didn't have the right mana, and that's the trade-off. So before, the decks were heavy red, splash white for Chain to the Rocks, and you played like Outburst instead of Brimaz, but like once you make the switch back towards Brimaz being more white based, then you're cutting yourself off. So just having like the 8 mountains with the other red sources, plus like the double red spells and Chain to the Rocks, there were just turns where I couldn't do much of anything. Yeah,
I mean it seems like pretty odd to say, but I don't think Chain to the Rocks belongs in your red-white deck. Right, like it messes up the mana too much because you are kind of a lighter.
It belongs in the red-white deck, but not in the white-red deck.
Exactly. So yeah, you just have to figure out a way to bridge the gap if you want to try to play both. The current build, I don't think has enough mountains in it. It only has 8. Whereas Ben Stark, when his old red-white deck was playing 12, Ben also built his deck in a much different way than this one, where he was playing 4 copies of Outpost Siege. And nothing else costs more than 4.
Yeah, like Ben's deck from that Grand Prix was a Soulfire Grandmaster Outpost Siege deck, which was the first of its kind. Started a Soulfire Revolution, and now we've seen it in 4X ever since then.
Yeah.
Which this deck also just doesn't play because this isn't an Outpost Siege deck. There's not a bunch of 1s and 2s. We're just kind of like this mid-range red-white deck. The one thing that I did like is Hangerback Walker and Key and Peel felt very good.
Yeah,
like not only were the artifacts good against your deck, but they're just like threats that you can just play, and your opponent's gonna have to 2-for-1 themselves to actually get rid of them.
Yeah, dude. The first time I cast Key and Peel was with proxies like 3 or 4 weeks ago or something, and it felt great. The card itself, I was playing in like Jeskai tokens, and it is like 3 bodies for 1, so it was kind of like a Hordling Outburst, but 2 of the guys flew, and it cost 1 more mana. But I had the option to throw the thing, like deal 2 extra damage to them, or I don't know. I lost my train of thought. It was okay. It was fun. I mean, but it was good. But I assume that in a more mid-rangey shell might be better, especially if you have more artifacts that you can actually use her ability more often.
Both Key and Peel and Hangerback Walker strike me as these cards that fall into kind of a unique role where there aren't very many cards in Magic that are bad against mid-range decks, but excel both against aggro decks and control decks. And both of those cards feel like cards that they can do that. Similar to Hurling Outburst. Like, it's going to allow you to put pressure on your opponent with 1 card generating multiple threats, but it can also play a defensive role where you need it. So, I mean, I think there has to be something there, at least at some point. Hangerback Walker could go in almost any deck.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably, just taking baby steps right now into the new standard, and as we approach the Pro Tour, there's another open this weekend in Richmond. And so I'm going to be there. CVM's going to be there. We're going to be trying out some new stuff. I might just go back to the tried and true blue-eyed heroic or white-blue heroic, since Logomai's did pretty well with it, and it is a pretty much a nightmare matchup for Green Devotion.
Yeah, it's pretty telling when you look at that tournament, and the top 4 is 3 Devotion decks, and then
one deck that's supposed to beat the crap out of it.
Yeah, so I think either of those decks really feels like a pretty good call for this weekend. Yeah,
but I mean, there's a lot of different stuff you can do. The Green Devotion decks, I feel like they're kind of pushing some of the other mid-range decks out of the format, though. Like Brad, Ross Merriam, and myself all played Devotion at the Open in Chicago, and collectively, I think between the 3 of us, our combined record against Abzan in all forms was like 18-2 or something.
Yeah, like that's
Brad played against it 7 or 8 times and XO'd it.
That's one of the big draws for it. Like I ended up switching to Green Red Dragons for the last Open before Origins came out, but I played Devotion at the Invitational because I felt like it was just better against Abzan than the Dragons decks, and I just beat those decks real bad.
Yeah. So what I'm probably going to write about this in my article this week, so maybe take a look at that, but no promises. But I want to try a Waste Not deck, because Waste Not with Languish, or like just Waste Not with, like, you get to play, you know, Tassiger and Gurmag Angler as like these giant 5 toughness creatures, and you just play 4 Languish to reset the board if like you need to buy yourself some time. Turn into a genuine Treasure Cruise control deck with a weird combo element to it with oh god, what's the other card for the combos with it? Blue, 2 and a black. Each
Dark
card,
Deal.
Dark Deal. Yeah, that one. Yeah, weird combo element to it that if someone's not, you know, doing
like
a whole
Tom
lot.
Ross is kind of putting you up to this. This feels like something Tom Ross would want to do.
No, man, he likes smallpox. He don't like mutual exchange of resources. He likes to crush them into the dirt.
Fair enough.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to be all for me. Probably won't see me too much on this side again. This was just a thing where we were doing it since BBD was out of town for the Pro Tour, and I'm not, because I suck.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you hanging out here with us mere mortals anyways.
Mortal? No, I mean, I was on this side with BBD for a long time. We did this thing, and it was a lot of fun. And I think that all videos all versus videos should be equal. And we should all be on the premium side, and then every week we rotate and have like one random one go on the free side. That would be sweet. And then you can play against...
play the Sevens game to see who goes on the free side?
Yeah. And then, you know, we could have you playing against, you know, me, BBD, Brad, and Tom, and mixing it up. It'd be kind of sweet. But for now, that's not going to be in the near future. But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys watching. And make sure to tune in to Star City Games. Or go to StarCityGames.com or check out SCGLive for all the coverage this weekend. In Richmond, we'll be playing Standard again.
Yep, 18 rounds with Patrick and Cedric. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube and not on StarCityGames.com, underneath our smiling faces, you can click on some panels to see some previous select side versus videos, primarily BBD versus CVM, as well as like and subscribe to the channel and let us know what you thought about the matchup here with Todd and I in the comments, and what types of decks you want to see for next week.
I don't want to read the comments.
Oh, we read them all.
I'm going to get bashed.
We read them all. Make sure you let us know what you want to see for next week. There were some sweet decks that came out of Chicago, so we decided to play them. Hopefully there's something even cooler that comes out of Richmond.
Yep.
So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.